I got loyalty inside my DNA. I got peace, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. 死んだ天性 I was born like this is wild. Immaculate conception, not just perform like this without you. One new weapon, I know.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra! Hey guys, and welcome to What If Luffy Ate the Goro no Mi. Now, sorry about the short delay with that. My voice had some problems with it. So, I didn't want to get on the mic and be stutter like, I didn't want to be sounded like that, you feel me? But without any further ado, let's get back into the story of where we left off with this topic. So they just defeated everyone in the Water 7 very easily. It didn't go the way that it did in canon, since that some of the Straw Hats know observation. Well, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, they know armament. Well, despite from Luffy having 3, Zoro and Sanji are pretty well rounded with haki, well, armament haki and observation haki. Due to that, it can be incorporated in their fighting styles, and so much so to Zoro's fighting style. And this is something that gives Zoro a reminder, is that Mihawk's blade was black. So was he using haki when he was fighting Zoro? And yeah, he was. Anyway, so the team will get their new ship build after dealing with CP9, get their new ship build. Frankie will join the crew, and then they will be on their way to set sail. Now, they will be going to the Thriller Bark arc, and this arc is very short, very short, because, well, what the Straw Hats can do in this arc. I mean, sure, they're still gonna get, like go through the same trials that they did in canon, but not to that extent. Seeming as if the guy who was sniffing or holding on Robin, Zoro would sense who that was and instantly slash him directly in his back, like cut him directly across his back, and the guy would be on the ground screaming in pain. Now this is where he would reveal himself, and then Zoro would have a sword to his neck, well, face, and saying, "Who are you?" And the guy would be shocked that he was able to sense him. And even, well, Luffy would say something like, "You got to do a better job at sneaking up on people, hide your presence and everything. It's not that hard to sense someone, even if you're gifted in armament haki. Well, even if you're gifted in observation haki." And this would be like, it's no way you sense me. And Luffy would say, "Is it? It's quite possible to sense someone like you. I mean, your hormones are all over the place." Anyway, now that that's taken care of, I wonder what else kind of freaky things are on this island. Now, everything will play out per normal with this whole arc. But most of the battles wouldn't go to that extreme to saying Luffy had a tough battle, because some things are being avoided in this arc due to Luffy's he's getting very comfortable with his future foresight. Now, let me tell you something that is avoided. Oars was not revived. They managed to deal with him quickly. As they ran into Brook, and Brook explained to him that he can't leave, he needs to get his shadow back and everything, Luffy and the Strides would help him, because Luffy wants Brook to be a part of his crew. He doesn't give a damn what other people say. He really wants Brook to be a part of his crew. He thinks he's cool. A talking skeleton, who doesn't think that's cool? Even though Luffy's definition of cool can be referred to as scary, because that is scary. Anyway, let's stop running off on the tangent. Now, that whole arc, everything that was avoided, it would be easily for them to get their shadows back, because Luffy would go ahead toe-to-toe with what's his name, Gecko Moria. And that battle would be one-sided, so one-sided, as Luffy is predicting every one of his moves, and yeah, that part right there. And even Luffy tells Gecko Moria that he is going to be a 7 deadly, well, not 7 deadly. He's going to be a warlord for the government. The 7 warlords, I guess what they call. So he needs to destroy one of them and turn them over, and you could be a good take. He already has 2 people that he needs to turn into, basically impale down, and basically he needs a warlord position. So why not take out a warlord and become one? And that's what Luffy's plan is. Yeah, he still has 2 of the Blackbeard pirates. Those 2, the 2 people of his crew, the one with the gun and Burgess. Yes, he still has them. I mean, he has the rest of Blackbeard's crew under his ship in the cell, so he's just waiting. So yeah, that whole arc basically dealt with. It wasn't really nothing to go off of or nothing to say. I mean, I could really went into saying that Luffy would have battled against Oars, but that wouldn't have been too exciting because why would it even need to go that far with the level of power that Luffy has? Yeah, I don't see that arc going that far. Now, when we reach the Sabaody Archipelago, it's when things get a little interesting, very interesting at that. Now, when Luffy punched the Celestial Dragon who shot the octopus guy, he didn't necessarily hit him with just his basic punch. He hit him with a lightning infused punch, damaging the guy way more badly than he did in Canning, putting the guy in critical condition. Critical condition. Now everything would play out just as normal as the Marines are coming to the island, flooding the island. Now the Straw Hats will be in midst of battle and everything. And this is where Kizaru and Sentomaru, the both of them would journey to the island. Well, Sentomaru, he would get there faster than Kizaru did, and everything would play out with the respective encounters that they did in the canon. Now, once they reached the Straw Hats, Luffy and the team wouldn't necessarily have that much problem with those mechanized robots. Just like after the 2-year time skip, they was running through these robots easily, beating the shit out of them easily until Kizaru had to show up and intervene. Now, he would cause the same kind of problems he did in canon, but just not to that level of extent. He wouldn't be pinning Zoro down because when he was stepping on Zoro's chest and aiming a beam at him, Zoro would coat his sword in haki and cut at Kizaru's leg, slashing at his leg, drawing blood. Now, Kizaru would be mad at this and jump away from Zoro, and then all of a sudden he would be hit with a strong lightning punch that just came out of nowhere, and it would be similar to Ace Fire Fist, and Luffy calls it a lightning fist, etc. Anyway, so as Kizaru gets hit with that, he then looks at Luffy, and Luffy just says to him that your battle is with me, not my crew. And then Luffy and Kizaru gets into a fighting battle with each other as lightning and light is as lightning and light is just going everywhere, flashing everywhere as the two of these opponents clash with each other. Now, Luffy is using haki, and also he's using haki-infused lightning attacks to hit Kizaru, and Kizaru is doing the same to Luffy. Now, both of them are getting into a climactic battle with each other, and Luffy is surprised that he's keeping up with this guy. His future foresight is coming really, really in handy. Now, while Luffy is doing this, he also, he sees that Kizaru did his whole light trick where he teleports right behind Luffy, and he's aiming a light beam right at Luffy. All of a sudden, Luffy just says, El Thor, and hits Kizaru with a huge El Thor blast. And then this is where Luffy would jump away while Kizaru is battle damaged, and he says, what the hell is going on? And Luffy says, my double fruit gives me a very, very strong radar. And my radar can be access to my observation haki. You didn't think I would know that you would teleport behind me? That's such a rookie move. And let me tell you something, this battle between me and you is probably more than one-sided. You can move at the speed of light, but what's the speed of light gonna do when I can see your every move? Now, Kizaru would say, you're bluffing. You can't see my every move. We'll just see about that. And he just teleported right behind Luffy again, and Luffy's eyes would just flash red and does that whole that future foresight ring. And then Luffy would hit Kizaru directly in his face with a hard punch, sending Kizaru flying through trees. Now, Kizaru would get back up and send out a whole bunch of lightning beams at Luffy. About to say Naruto. He would send a whole bunch of lightning beams at Luffy, and Luffy would be dodging most of them. Like each and every one of them. A few would hit Luffy because this guy is a tough opponent. I'm not saying that he's weak or nothing like that. And then Kizaru would come and kick Luffy directly in the stomach, and Luffy would cough out blood. Now, this is where Luffy would get excited by this, and he's saying that he's fighting a Logia, who's probably on the same level of strength that he is. But luckily, his observation haki isn't the same as his. Luffy's observation haki is more potent than Kizaru's is. This is where Luffy then kicks Kizaru away, and Luffy grabs his arm and basically puts his shoulder back in place. Basically, his shoulder was dislocated, so he just put it right back in place. Now, he would look at Kizaru, and someone would come up to Luffy and whisper in his ear, this battle is going to get very, very hectic, and you might end up destroying. most of Sabaody Archipelago. It's not too long before he calls in for reinforcements and more Marines show up, and then the tides of the battle is going to turn. And then Luffy says, well, what do you have in mind? Let me teleport. I work for the Revolutionary Army. Sorry about that. I'm here to teleport you guys to different areas just to get you out of Dodge. And this is where Luffy would say, all right, I guess that could work. Now, this is where he would start teleporting most of the Straw Hats away, each and every one of the Straw Hats away. And then Luffy would tell him that I hope you didn't teleport my people, well, my friends, to dangerous places. And he would tell him that he didn't. He teleported them to safe places that are keen to their kind of style, their lifestyle. And this is where Luffy would then get teleported to Amazon Lily. But before he got teleported to Amazon Lily, Luffy would then tell him to basically go in his ship and release the two pirates that are encaged in imprisoned in his ship. He was going to turn them over into the world government and become a warlord, but since his fight with Kizaru, that's not going to happen. Actually, that's really not going to happen. So now that everything has been settled with that, Luffy then got teleported to Amazon Lily and everything played out normal with that. Now, when he got to Amazon Lily, their fights really didn't go that way as he did in canon. It wouldn't be that one-sided. Luffy would wake up and be in his regular outfit, his clothes, and everything would go per normal with that. But except when they started shooting arrows at Luffy, they would be shocked to see that most of the arrows that they had would be caught. Luffy would catch most of them. Using some of his lightning powers, Luffy made these like tendrils of lightning and caught each arrow that was shot at him. And then Luffy would say, that's not all I can do. You want to tell me why you guys are getting so hostile? And then Luffy would then create this small miniature orb in his hand, and he would shoot it up through the ceiling and jump through the ceiling. And this is where Luffy would then raise his hand to the sky, and he would tell them that you guys have got one chance to tell me why you're attacking me and trying to kill me before I incinerate you. Now they would see these giant like dragon in the sky, and it would yell out this huge roar that would shake the ground that they were on. And every girl in Amazon Lily would know who that is. That's the Straw Hat Pirate Luffy, aka Raiden. And Luffy would say, so you heard of me. Well, that's nice. But it's not nice for you guys to attack me after I was being friendly. I meant no harm to you guys. So I'm just wondering, why are you throwing arrows at me? And most of those arrows are infused with armament hockey. So I'm just wondering why you're trying to kill me when I done you no harm. Now, they would just say to get into that whole conversation, and then Luffy would just run away, kidnapping one of them and going through the whole debacle that they did in canon. Now, Luffy would end up basically running around Amazon Lily, telling the girl thank you and everything like that would play out just like normal. And he would end up running into the bathroom of Boa Hancock, seeing her naked. Well, he accidentally seen her back and seen her naked. And this is what Luffy would say, what is that thing on your back? That reminds me of something. Wait, you've got that marking on your back because you were kidnapped by the celestial dragon, so they imprinted on you. I've heard about that before. People kidnapping people and making them work for them, making them slaves. I'm surprised to see that you escaped. And if I were to wager, Luffy would sit down and cross his legs saying, I bet you and your sisters were captured, weren't you? Now, Boa Hancock would be like that after she would scream and her sisters would come in and they would say, what is a man doing in here? Now, this is where Boa Hancock would have her eyes wide open and she would say, he knows about my back. He's seen my back. And they would be shocked to see this. And then Luffy would say that, what? I seen your back. Yeah, I did. And they would say that this is a secret that we have to uphold. And Luffy would say, that's a secret. I can get why it's a secret because it can be dangerous to let people know what you guys been through. I mean, the pain that they must have caused you guys could be so severe. And this is where Boa Hancock would say, take those words to the grave with you, fool. Now, she would shoot her love beam at Luffy, and Luffy would just be like, what was that? Was that a slow beam? I remember that when I went into fight with these guys, and we had this whole Davy back fight. And he hit me with this slow beam. Do you got a similar devil fruit to that? And she would do it again, but nothing would happen to Luffy. And this is where she would be shocked to say, why does he feel any affection towards me? She says, I'm without flaw. I mean, I am naked right now. He should feel some kind of affection towards me. And Luffy would say, well, I don't. I just want to talk, and I want to learn how to get off this island. I was teleported here, and I'm trying to regroup with my team, my crew. And she would say, who are you? But then the sisters would be shocked, and they would fall down on their ass. And they would say, sister, that's Raiden. That's Raiden of the Straw Hat Pirates. And she would say, and she would even be shocked to hear this. And Luffy would say, I mean no harm. I'm just here because I was sent here. And I'm just trying to find a way off this island. Now, everything would play out per normal with that. And then Boa Hancock would then have Luffy fighting in the whole tournament thing where two people got turned to stone. That whole thing would play out. Instead of Luffy hitting that, he would injure that cat way more than he did in canon. Now, when the cat was coming, like charging at Luffy, he would punch that cat so hard that not only would it break a couple of teeth, that it would break a rib cage too in the cat. And the cat would need to undergo some surgery or just need to heal for a long while. Because Luffy badly injured that cat. You thought the punch was serious. The punch that he hit, that cat was sent some shockwaves through, like literally shockwaves through that cat's body. So yeah, the cat was on the ground twitching. And they thought the cat was dead, but no, it's just highly unconscious right now. It's going to be in a meditative coma for a little while. Anyway, so Luffy then says that this is pointless. The two sisters come down there and was about to attack Luffy. And then Luffy, used his future foresight. And he says this, I am too fast for you guys. Then he says gear second. And then all of a sudden they were hit with two lightning blasts over and over. And every time they were hit with a lightning blast, they were kicked in the stomach, punched in the face. Luffy was like teleporting all over and around them. And each attack that he was hitting them with was devastating too. It hurt. And I mean, it hurt. Luffy came up with an idea to where he could use his armament haki. It's something like similar to how he did in the Wano arc, where he punched he punched the tree. Like the old man was teaching him how to use his haki and blow a hole throughout the tree. So he wasn't using it to that extent, but he was using it enough to damage those two. And it hurt them. They were coughing up blood and they were battle damaged and scathed to the point they teleported, transformed back to their human forms. And this is where Luffy would say, you're on my playing field. He would touch the ground of the stadium and electrocute them to the point they're incapacitated and on the ground. Now this is where Luffy would look up at Boa Hancock and he would tell her to get down here. I want to fight you next. Your sisters were weak. If you really want me to show you my true potential, to show you what I really can do, ask the people in this stadium what I can do. Most of them have seen what I can do, and most of them, people would just be saying, boo, boo, boo. Luffy would then raise his hand to the sky, and he would create a dragon, a bear, and then he would create a shark from his fights. And then all of a sudden, Luffy would create a giant, snake. Just for reminiscing, because these guys look like snakes, and they're the snake twisters. So he would create all these animals out of electricity, and they would be up in the sky roaring at the people. And now Luffy says this, I will live, and I will cause enough damage to the point to where I won't die, but you all will, or you'll just be unconscious, and I will just steal a ship and get off this island. And this is where Boa would just say, stop. She looked up to the sky and was scared. Like Luffy had put fear into her heart, and she was scared about what was going to happen. So she just told him to stop. She reverted those two back to their original form, and then Luffy was happy about this, and then he just let it go. All the animals made of lightning would dissipate, and Luffy would be smiling, and he would be happy, putting on his straw hat. Now everything would play out per normal with that, and Luffy would be talking with Boa Hancock, and they would have a very intriguing conversation, him and her sisters. And this is where Luffy would give her a heart-to-heart speech, and she would end up falling in love with Luffy like she did in canon, like really falling in love with Luffy like she did in canon. Now, Luffy knows and shares her feelings and everything, but he says that he won't return those feelings until he becomes the king of the pirates. But the feelings are there, and he does share a connection with Boa Hancock. And he does tell her that once he becomes the king, he's going to settle down and marry her. And this even gets her more excited to the point she has a nosebleed and falls out. Now Luffy smiles at this, and he even wakes Boa Hancock up and tells her that he needs a ship. And this is where Luffy would then sail to Ruscaina to meet Rayleigh. Now, this is where Rayleigh would be, because Rayleigh told Luffy on Sabaody Archipelago to meet him at Ruscaina. And this was a plan that him and the Revolutionary Army had, well, the guy from the Revolutionary Army had, and they were ran it over with Rayleigh. And even Luffy would have talked with the both of them, too. Well, Luffy would have talked with Rayleigh about it, but when Bartholomew Kuma, when he came to tell Luffy about the whole Revolutionary Army thing, then everything would play out just like it did in canon. So when Luffy got to Ruscaina and Rayleigh was there, Rayleigh would tell Luffy that he has to train and that both of them have to train for a while. Now, they have to train in their haki more efficiently. Luffy already tells Rayleigh that he's very proficient in armament, observation, and conqueror's haki, but Rayleigh tells him that you still need more training. Way more training. I can even make you better than what you are. Now, this is where Luffy smiles at this, and he would begin his training with Rayleigh. Now, this is where Luffy would shoot up in the sky, and he hopes that most of his teammates see this. He would shoot all around the world, and he would just basically shoot lightning attacks all around the world so that he could reach his teammates. He knows they're animals, he knows their signatures, so he shoots lightning at them, and the lightning bolts reach each and every one of them. It reached Usopp, it reached Nami, Chopper, Frankie, and Brooke, Robin. It reached all of them. So everyone that it reached, it said, meet me in 2 years. We need to train. Most of you need to train. So we need to train for 2 years. I said train so many times. Anyway, so as the 2-year time skip is getting ready to commence, everyone would understand Luffy's message and would train for those remaining 2 years. So not only are they very familiar with their haki, well, the Straw Hats are familiar with haki. Now is that they're becoming more perfection is the key. They're trying to perfect their arts of haki. So yeah, now they have a head start in their training. So just imagine once the 2-year time skip is over with, how strong they're going to be. Now anyway, this is where I'm going to end part 5 to what if Luffy ate the Goro no Mi. Now, if you guys get past 50 likes for this video, I will release part 6 as soon as possible. But without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and plus ultra. Good night, guys.